Y'all still think this
I normally wouldn't make a video like this, but I feel like I need to say something, so I wrote a few things down. I am currently on board the MV Hondius, and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it, and that this isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us right now. I'll share more when I can, but for now, I just ask for your kindness and understanding. Thank you. I normally wouldn't.
Y'all still think this Hantavirus situation is a game. You had 3 people that were evacuated off the ship because they were seriously ill. You had 3 people that already lost their life. Then you have a case of the Hantavirus in Switzerland. The person that was confirmed with this virus was on that ship. Now you got to think about this. Who did that person come in contact with? Because this isn't the regular Hantavirus. This is the Andes strain. This is the one that's airborne. Now you go back to the cruise ship. They took 3 people off that cruise ship, which means 146 people are left on that cruise ship. You know how real this shit can get? I need to ask you, what does this shit seem like to you? This don't sound like 2020 to you? But I need you to listen to this. They're saying that they might even know where this outbreak started from. So out of the 3 people that passed away, there was the Dutchman, the 70-year-old Dutchman. He was on a trip with his wife. They're saying that they may have contracted the Hantavirus from a bird watching tour in Argentina. This don't sound good at all. I need you to look at this right here. Read what that says at the top. As of May 17, 2026, Argentina has officially finalized its withdrawal from the World Health Organization. Please tell me what this sounds like to you. Then I need you to understand that the United States of America cut ties with the World Health Organization as well. But this is why all of this should scare you. It's the Andes virus. I need you to look at the bottom right here. It says it has a high fatality rate of around 40%. Let's go back to the beginning of all of this. This ship leaves April 1st. The first victim that dies maybe about 10 days after that. The second person that died maybe about 2 weeks after the first person. And then the third person that died maybe about 7 or 8 days after that. What is that telling you? They had people believing that this was only a respiratory infection, but it's way bigger than that. This virus takes at least 1 to 2 weeks to activate. And the way this virus spreads is through sneezing, coughing, maybe dirty hands. And you know people don't even like to wash their hands. You got to remember that the wife of the 70-year-old man got on a commercial flight that may have been full of people. So how are they going to track down all of these people? And when they track down all of these people, are they going to be able to quarantine all of these people? And then you got to ask, where's that cruise ship going to dock? Yeah, okay. Okay. Y'all still...
Hey, all right. Shalom, shalom, Israel. All right. This is the brother Shaquat Rakah coming from Great Millstone Temple. All right. Coming back at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Bahasham, Rakakadash. All right. And first and foremost, before I start this lesson, I want to give all honor and glory that's due to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Bahasham, Rakakadash. All right, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah being the true names of the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son, written in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, who this world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. And I also want to give double honors unto our apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and rule it well. All right, and I ain't gonna make this lesson too long, but it's so much going on around the world, man. What's the spirit? I know this through the spirit. I know you brothers is watching. Notice the spirit been heavy on this prophecy of the MOTB. And this is also has been a hot topic, man. Just I'm just now I got off the plantation not too long ago, but yesterday just fellowshipping with the brothers, pushing a workout. The brothers get together. You seen this? You heard about this and that? And I got the word. They talking about this Hantavirus, and Lord's will, this devil don't take this video down. This whole H virus, right? You know, um, at my job, we be doing stocking before we go out and do our task. We usually have a meeting, and it was talking about the H virus. One of the coworkers, female coworkers, I know, she was like, yeah, she was going into detail, about the whole cruise ship. I ain't really pay her no mind, but you see what's going on, man. This dude right here, this dude, humbly speaking, truth be told, he's bugged out. Why the hell you got three crosses on your shades? But whatever. But he made a good point though to the spirit. Is this 2020 all over again? Because our apostles, elders, the bishops, the brethren been telling you people, 2020 was really just a test run for what's really gonna happen. All right, and we understand that the Lord is done with Babylon. All right, He's going to destroy this place, man. Before He does that, He's gonna plague it. But real quick, I want to grab this, um, the book of Isaiah, just to back up that point, because this is 2020 again, but this time it's gonna be permanent. I'm gonna just grab it. Isaiah 24 and verse 10. The point is in 11. The city of confusion is broken down, in which we know that city of confusion is America, man, aka mystery, Babylon the Great. All right, with which this place promotes nothing but confusion, wickedness, folly, vanity, and really everything contrary to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and which is one of the main reasons why this place will be destroyed, man. All right, and that's prophecy. It says every house is shut up that no man may come in, and we seen the point I want to make. We seen a prime example of that back in 2020. I remember you getting Amber Alerts on your phone. You can't be outside running around at a certain time period. If you outside past 9 p.m., you may get locked up. You go in stores, you gotta be 6 feet. I even had a situation. I was trying to go to Walmart to grab something. I forgot my mask. They really was not letting me in. I'm like, God damn. It was not playing about that shit. If you didn't have your mask, you couldn't even walk in the stores. And I had graduated at that around that time. Even at our graduation, they had it to where when we grabbed our diplomas, you had to be 6 feet. And we got in the car, went right back home. It was like a drive-by graduation as they did it. But that shit was hectic though. And brothers was going into it. Yeah, me and the brother Ball through the spirit did a live a couple of days ago going into prophecy. And the brother was going into his testimony how around that time period his inbox was he always goes into it through the spirit, how his inbox was flooded. All right. And you got a lot of brothers and sisters that woke up during that time period, which I'm one of those brothers through the spirit. You got the brother you call Shalom Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Barakatah to that brother. And Shalom to the Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Barakatah to the brother of Baal. But brother you call it the Sevid era brothers. 'Cause you got a lot of brothers that woke up during that time period. All right, but that's coming back again. But the point I wanted to make, the brother goes into how, his inbox was flooded. But when things slowly got back to normal, them people disappeared, man, which shows that them people wasn't really sincere. But what these people don't realize, this lockdown is coming back again. So don't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the talks of this Hantavirus dies down and something else comes out, you know, something crazy comes out. Well, I wouldn't be surprised this whole shit shuts down this summer. There's a lot going on with the which was one I'm gonna touch up on it. You got these different airplane like what was this jet line. Let me check it out. I had it saved. We could just get into it. What was that? Yeah, JetBlue and Spirit apparently shut down. Yeah, real quick. Spirit Airlines reportedly shut down operations in May 2026. That's the month we're currently in. It says after severe financial problems and rising fuel costs, thousands of flights were canceled. Yeah, due to this war that's going on, this whole U.S. Israel Iran situation, the whole Strait of Hormuz situation, man. This shit is through. And it says JetBlue is still operating, is actually expanding routes in places where Spirit used to fly, especially in Florida. But the first thing I was just thinking about was the 15-minute cities and how the scriptures go into how a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. So a lot of this shit is going down, man. All right, but real quick, I'm gonna finish this off. Isaiah 24:11. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. The crying for wine in the streets is referring to the truth because the scriptures go into how the place of repentance is open. And what is that? The Lord got his prophets on the scene. He has some men set up, starting with our apostles and elders, the bishops, you know, going all the way down. You know, and that's how the Lord speaks to you. But our people are not, they don't have a spiritual insight, you know, to understand that. All right, but it's very soon enough, the Lord gonna have his prophets on the scene out there because we're not gonna be in the midst, you know, of all hell breaking loose, man. You know. But it says all joy is dark and the mirth of the land is gone. I was going to it to the through the spirit. Everybody knows ever since 2020, you know, because the spirit before that, the spirit during that, and then the spirit after that, the whole vibration of this earth has been different. I I remember how the vibration was before that. I remember before that, this chick was in high school. I'm thinking I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. I was a senior when that shit happened. That shit was crazy. Like we was on spring break. And next thing, and we was hearing about it, like we was hearing about it in January, but I didn't think we went to spring break. You know how it was in high school. In spring break, Jake going to these different parties, events, and get-togethers and shit. You know, Jake is bullshitting in a mirth spirit. And they said, "Don't even, we gotta stay for another week." Then they just said, "Don't even come back." And next thing you know, Jake is everybody on the computers and stuff. That shit was crazy, and everything was shutting down. You had certain businesses shutting down. You know, it was hectic, man. All right, people, and the first thing these people did, they freaked out and bought tissue. Goofy, man. All right, but the mirth of the land is gone, and these people see this devil that been exposed. You know, we're in the beginning stages of really all the prophecies, the main prophecies, World War III, the MOTB, Jacob's trouble, shit, Esau Edom's kingdom coming down. You know, the prophets on this, and the Lord got his prophets on the scene. What Jake is doing, you got the Hantavirus. Jake was on a cruise. Now they got that shit. You know, and they not redeeming the times because hey, the days are evil right now. All right, just the time to be repenting, man. But real quick, I want to get this. Uh, was Spirit Airline? So let's check this out.
Everything was cut off on May 2nd.
Laid off and left without answers. Spirit Airline employees gathering outside company headquarters in Dania Beach Monday, still reeling after the surprise announcement over the weekend when the company shut down for good.
It wasn't until
Getting laid off. So
midnight on Friday.
Um, I'm gonna just quote it. How grinders shall cease because they are few. All right, so hey, this shit is through, man.
Friday night that we learned when we see the board with no flights for the next day that we were done for that day.
The abrupt closure creating a frenzy nationwide, catching employees and travelers off guard. All flights grounded by 3 a.m. Saturday. 17,000 people across the country now without jobs, including
Damn, damn, shit is crazy.
thousands of workers based here in South Florida. The impact widespread.
This is not like any other industry. You do not take your work experience with you. You start right back at the bottom. So if you've been here 30 years, it means nothing. Myself, 10 and a half years means nothing. You start right back at the bottom with the lowest pay, lowest seniority.
This is the layoff notice Spirit sent to all staff Saturday, stating the company will be permanently closing all of its operational locations. The ultra low-cost carrier collapsing amid rising
So
jet.
hey, and that also ties back in the mirth of the land is gone. Cause what are people doing when they flying out? You know, which people doing all kind of stuff. You know, certain people may be moving out, whatever, but mostly people are going on trips to visit certain families in this state to go party and go do this and have a drink, spend family time, fly a bitch out, etc. All right, that shit is done away with, man. The mirth of the land is gone, man.
Fuel prices, intense competition, and debt. The company filing for bankruptcy twice in as many years.
There's a lot of people that are going to struggle, and there's no way around that. There's just not enough jobs in this industry for the type of work that we do.
Now, the recovery will be very challenging because, again, all health benefits were canceled on.
And this just the beginning of sorrows, as the Lord said, which I'm gonna grab Lord as well. But this is just the beginning of sorrows, man. You know, you people that's not redeeming the times, inquiring of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, you are in for a rude awakening.
Saturday, county leaders stepping in to help. They are hosting a career fair at Career Source Broward County at the Hollywood location from 2 to 5 p.m. Of course, we'll have much more reaction throughout the day.
There's no severance.
So hey, let's get into some scripts though. I ain't gonna make this lesson too long, but we gotta get into it because we in these times of Matthew 24, you know, Ezra's, Jeremiah, we in the last days, man. This is Matthew 24. Bear with me. I want to see what yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read it in the KJV. Matthew 24. Yeah, I'm gonna start in verse 6. The point is in 8. It says, "Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars," and they're not even rumors no more. Like World War III is taking place right now. You know, it's getting hot, dying down, and we're gonna see what happens this week, man. You know, but regardless, it's happening. It will happen, and it's gonna result in thermonuclear destruction, and America will be destroyed. All right, but it says, "See ye, be not troubled," and these people are troubled. All right, so look, and we know in Matthew 24, Yahweh Shah was speaking to the 12. They were asking, "What will be the signs? You know, we in the end." So it's a major sign we at the end right now. All right, we in that time. And Yahweh Shah was nearly speaking these things 2,000 years ago, man. And we here in the year 2026. All right, it's already May, man. We about to watch. You just gonna shut your eyes. It's gonna be June. All right, but and the Lord speeding up the times that believe it's in the yes in the same chapter. So we in those times. We in those times, man. But we seeing these things. But we not troubled because if you troubled at these things, you in the wrong spirit because you want this place to go on. You want another president to replace Donald Trump. You know, you want to build your future here. We tired of this place. We tired of being under the oppression of the wicked. We tired of being in captivity, being afflicted, oppressed, mourning. We tired of this, man. We just want the Lord to come back, to come get us, man. So that's why we not troubled when we see these things, because all these things are ushering in the return of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the only begotten Son, which his name is Yahweh Shah, which his name means he saves and he delivers. All right, who you people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, man. But it says, for all these, Salaki, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, because we're waiting for what? That key prophecy, which is what? The mandatory of the MOTB, which is that RFID micro C hip, which the infrastructure is set up. You got people who already implemented. Man, look up on your own time. Look up Neuralink patient with Mr. Beast. I went to in one of my recent videos not too long ago. Look up Pay with Your Palm. Look up Neuralink. Come on, man. So this thing is here. We just waiting for it to be made mandatory, which it will soon to be. But it says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Are we not seeing that? And there should be famines and pestilences. So it's about to get bad out here. It's gonna be a famine. It's gonna be a famine of hearing these words. A shortage of men out here because a lot of these niggas are gonna die. And a lot of these niggas are gonna get drafted off the war and die. All right, and the only man that's gonna be left here is the men of the Lord, which is the highest value men that's walking on this earth right now. All right, but guess what? Pestilences. So that's why you got the H virus, that monkey business, all kinds of. And it's gonna be many more. All right. It says in earthquakes in diverse places. So this happening all over the world. There's an earthquake taking place right now. But it says all these are the beginning of sorrow. So this is just the beginning of what the Lord is really about to do. And it's about to get bad out here. And that's why the Lord said, what? Shall I find faith on earth? Because that's how bad it's about to get out here, man. And if Yahweh Bashim Shai ain't with you, you cooked. All right, in which us brothers and sisters, we have nothing to worry about. You brothers and sisters that wholeheartedly, sincerely believe on Yahweh Bashim Shai, that wholeheartedly believe on His word, you got nothing to worry about. The pestilences, the plagues, the famines, the destruction, the death, the judgment, that's for the wicked individuals, man. That ain't for us, man. All right, and I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna actually, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go to the Apocrypha, Second Esdras. We have 15. Bear with me. I want to see where we should. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is actually before I grab that, then Lord's gonna plague this place, man. Yeah. So this is what this is what I'm gonna do. So yeah, this is really going into everything. Second Esdras 16 and 37. The point is in 38, 39. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the ninth month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains when a child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So the Lord is likening these plagues as as birth pains, as when a woman is giving birth and the baby being born is representing Yahweh Bashem Yahushua making his return. So the Lord is gonna plague this place back up, back. It's gonna hit, boom, 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 boom. All right. But it says, here's the point. It says they not slacking. But here's the point. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So for you people, it ain't looking good for you people out here, man. All right. Um, I'll get straight to the point. Second 15 and 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. So for you, we not even gonna bring up you Christians. Christianity is played out, but I don't sound all loving, man. All right, but it says the sword, famine, death, and destruction. That's the Lord is coming back to bring, man. So that don't sound all loving, man. All right. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read this and jump back up. Second Esdras 15. I'm gonna go in 17 just to touch up on this. You know, it says I'm just grab 14. Second Esdras 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Yeah, woe going to what? Death and destruction. Woe to these people that trust in this place. That have dreams and aspirations. That's trying to save their life, man. Woe unto you. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Yeah, because it's heavy division in this place, man. And the scripture that comes to mind is what? Isaiah 19:2. For the Lord is going to do what? Set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, because it's heavy division amongst this place in America, man. It says, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another. So be prepared for civil war, world war, race war, class war. This is a time of war, as it's spoken of in the book of Ecclesiastes. How this is a time for everything, but this is a time for war, man. It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So nobody cares about what Trump got to say. So he done been exposed. He on them files. All right. These people don't care no more. It's hard to live out here. It's hard to live for everybody, man. But the difference is we put our hope in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. To hell with this place. And here's the point. A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able. And that's what you see with the Spirit Airlines, because they're going to have these 15-minute cities. You ain't going to be able to just travel and do what you want, man. This devil's coming down with it, man. This murder mirth is gone. All right, so I'm gonna close out with this. 2 Esdras 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. And who is the Lord's people? The Israelites, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And it says what? The words of prophecy. So you got a guy that claims to be a prophet, but he's not telling you about the MOTB, World War III, who the devil is, etc. That guy's a false prophet. The true prophet is going to be prophesying about these things, as the Lord said, what? The spirit, the testimony of Yahweh Shah is what? The spirit of prophecy. And it says, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. So this ain't of my own words. This ain't of our own words.